Mr. Robert Chumay, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Mr. Ruben. Thank you for asking. How are you guys up there?
Well, we are fantastic, but very worried. I'm very good, but worried about the situation that we're facing on the on the Philadelphia water chemical spill. That yesterday we were alarmed. Do you hear about there in Florida?
Oh, absolutely. As somebody who practices water filtration, and really, it's just not a job. I follow this like you can't believe. So I can tell you the problems that exist all over the city or all over the country, not just in Philadelphia. So
Yes. Since yesterday that we received the alarm, I have all my customers. So you know that we have a great amount of customers that use our water filtration system here in Philadelphia. And the question was, does our water filter stop or help me with these chemicals that was spilled? I said I will get in touch with the company. However, I trust the system. I This is the only water. I didn't get into the supermarket to buy bottled water because
you
I
don't need.
trust the system so much. And I said, but I will get the company involved and I'll get some answers. And here I have you, Rob, is the vice president of Carico International, product developer. I didn't even introduce you into this call. So we live here.
Well, thank you, Pedro. And again, I'm sorry to all of the people in Philadelphia who have had to suffer through a lot of concern and worrying and looking for alternatives with respect to their water. Until something like this happens, we often take for granted what we have at our fingertips. And it's important, obviously, for everyone to have clean, healthy water. And what happened in Philadelphia is happening too frequently around the country. You look in Palestine, East Palestine, Ohio, they had the train derailment. There was a train derailment in Tucson shortly after that. All of those contaminations affected the water supply for them. Now, in Philadelphia, this was a manufacturer whose equipment malfunctioned, and it caused these chemicals to be leached into the waterways. And the chemicals that were released have a lot of long big names, but they're basically belong to a series of chemicals known as volatile organic chemicals. And there are hundreds, if not thousands, of variations of these types of chemicals that are in the water. They come from principally from manufacturing, but they're also household cleaners, pesticides, herbicides. The good thing about VOCs like this is if you have a quality activated carbon block and it's designed properly to allow the water to allow that block to remove the chemicals, you will be safe drinking the water. Carico's water filters will remove the chemicals that you guys have subjected to in Philadelphia 100%, no concerns, no worries. And not only will it do it today, Pedro, but those filters will work if it's the whole house. 4 or 5 years from the date of installation, it'll still be removing those chemicals. So God forbid if this happens again in the future.
Yeah, right now, the authority are saying that we are good until today at 11:59 p.m. because the contamination haven't even reached the water plants yet. But they expecting and they testing and this is something that made curiosity to me and said, all right, so we good. We save for now until 11:59. But what's going to happen next? And this is something that I represent with passion because I think that we shouldn't be wait for situations like this to arise to take care of the quality of the water that we drink and consume and take a shower and all of that. And I'm very happy that I represent Carico for 14 years now, and knowing that the quality of our product will address this type of contaminations, it makes me feel really good. So any suggestion, because I know you know a lot about water and chemicals and things and you study those things, what do you think would be something that maybe second effect for the people that may consume that they don't have a water filter or they, you know.
Well, I would say there's two things. First of all, um, remember that anytime someone says they've tested the water, they've looked at the water, it's a snapshot of the condition of that water today, right? So, and Philadelphia is a good example. Pedro, you said that the authorities said as of now the water is okay, but 12 hours from now it's not going to be okay, right? And that's
Yes.
because that contamination moved through. Now, I give credit to the city of Philadelphia and the manufacturer. You know, authorities were alerted, or the leak was detected. So they took prompt action to notify and put people that are the residents there on alert. So that is a positive. However, the point of my story there is water changes. What the way it is today is going to be different tomorrow, because we don't know, did a gas station have a tank burst, and did it leak benzene products and oil products into that aquifer or the source of the water. A lot of these contaminations or spills, maybe they're not big enough to get reported. Maybe the actors are bad actors. They don't want to get in trouble, so they don't report it. They cover it up. We just don't know. So, as you said, the safest thing to do, how can you protect yourself? Not just from today's catastrophe, but from tomorrow's and the next one. Is the solution bottled water? I've studied bottled water quite a bit. I've seen a lot of tests, blind tests, where bottled water is taken and it's tested, and it's not regulated. They don't have to follow any particular protocols. There are a lot of contaminants in bottled water. Do a search for bottled water and contaminants. You'll get hundreds and hundreds of examples and news reports about that. Plus, from an environmental standpoint, I hope to leave this planet in good shape for my daughter. And you look at 6 out of 7 water bottles do not get recycled. So we're contributing to all that waste. Not only that, but think about it. In order to extract the oil to make the water bottles, to move them, to rinse them, it actually takes 3 to 4 gallons of clean water to put 1 gallon of clean water in a bottled water. So maybe in an emergency, convenience, it's acceptable, but long term, I don't think that's a good solution for any of us. The best solution, the water treatment plants are doing their best to clean the water. They put chlorine to prevent the bacteria. All we need to do is have an effective system where we're going to use the water to make sure those things that get by are removed, to take out the chlorine so that the water is pure and safe, just like God made it, just before we tend to use it. And that's why I love and am so dedicated to Carico's water filter program, because the point of use and the point of entry do exactly that. Keep the chlorine, the water safe, bacteria free until it comes to our point. We remove it, leave the minerals in. It's the perfect combination for our bodies and our long-term health. And it's excellent for the environment.
Thank you, thank you. One of the questions that I get the most yesterday and today, still the phone is having stopped ringing. People calling me and asking me, Pedro, how confident are you on your Carico water filters? And I said, I'm very confident. But because I said I'm going to reach out to the man who knows more than me about it, and I think I have a video here that I wanted to watch it with me.
Okay.
So I think this is a surprise, but this is something the answer the question of our customers. Okay, so I
Okay.
have this video, but I didn't want it just to respond the people with a video that we made in the past,
Right.
but I want you to come and say what your opinions are. I want to show I'm very concerned about the people in our city, and I'm happy to have this solution and work with Carico water filtration program. But
Okay.
I want you to watch this video with me, and I
Okay.
want the audience and the people who are going to watch this video later, uh, they are not here live, to
All right.
see how confident are you and how confident I am in our water purification system.
Okay.
Here it is. All right, I got to play. You got to make play.
One of the most common questions I get is, Rob, how good is Carico's water filter and how confident are you in it? Well, most of the things that contaminate our water, we can't see them. Lead, mercury, glyphosate. So what I decided to do today was, instead of talking about those things, which I'm going to do a little bit, I'm going to show you. So a lot of the water that we have is groundwater runoff. It runs off the roads, it runs off of farms. So what I did was I swung by a pond that was between the road on one side and a farm on the other. And I'm just going to show you a little bit about what this water is I scooped out. And you can see by the color and the things floating in it that this water has the oil from the road, but it also has anything from the farm, the fertilizer, the nitrogen that went in there. Now, normally the water that we get through our tap is not nearly as bad as this. But what I'm going to show you is we're going to take this really disgusting water that none of us would want to drink. We're going to run it through our filter and we're going to see what happens. The suspense. This is our point of use 15-inch filter. And inside it is a ceramic cartridge. And what happens is you're going to see the water come through and fill the cartridge up from the outside. The water then goes through this ceramic. This filters out everything that's 0.2 microns or bigger. That means all the bacteria, the cyst, the fungus, all stays outside of the water on the outside of the ceramic. The water is then going to go through this cartridge, which is a special patented cartridge. It removes the lead, the mercury, the heavy metal, but it also removes about 90% of the known pharmaceuticals out there. Finally, the water passes down into the final stage, which is a coconut-based carbon. This is going to clarify the water, means it's going to be nice and clear, and it's going to refine the taste to give it that nice, smooth taste. So, we're going to activate the pump. We're going to turn the water on here. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to keep watching, because you're going to start to see this water enter into the tube. You can see a lot of the floating material coming up. You can see the colors getting darker. So there's no doubt this disgusting pond water is going through our cartridge. Now, if you look on this side, you can see the water coming out is crystal clear. That's how confident I am in our water filtration products. Don't delay. Now's the time to get them. Thank you.
I don't know how long ago was that you made that video. I don't remember exactly. However, it still impacts me every time I watch it, and to see the way our water purification system works, and I'm very confident on it. And I think that every people, not just in Philadelphia, but in Puerto Rico and everywhere, and I think everywhere in the planet, people should own a Carico water filter. What do you think, Rob?
Well, I completely agree with you. Obviously, I had no qualms drinking, some of the most, what you couldn't tell there is the smell of that water, but if there was a way to put the odor through, it would have even had more of an impact. But, look, how good is our filter, and what pains do we go through to make sure it's the best? We're made in the USA, and China they don't like a lot of competition from foreign made products there. So they make it very difficult for people to get approval there. We passed their water test, and our units are sold in China. It's the only US made stainless steel water filter approved there. Why is that important? Their test is 50 times more stringent than any other water test done by any other lab or any other country in the world. And we're the only ones from the US that have passed it. So that's how good we are.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Rob. I hope everybody who watched this video Understand that we are very concerned about the situation happening in Philadelphia, and that we are here to support. I think I'm very excited. I'm very also grateful that I call you this morning. I sent you an email this morning, and you say yes, I'm busy, but I will. This is an emergency. We
Emergency.
make this time, and we can talk to the people in Philadelphia about this situation, and how confident we are about our water filters. Those customers who have it, now you know, Carico is supported, that we are confident that our system remove the contaminations.
Yep. Not just today, but tomorrow, the next day, next month, next year, your whole family and you are both safe.
All right, Rob. Thank you
All
for
right.
very much for your time. Do you have to?
Appreciate you.
Do you want to give a message to the Philadelphia people?
Yes, here in Florida, we have plenty of water filters ready to send up and keep you protected. You are in outstanding hands with Pedro, and let's hope that today the contamination isn't too severe, so that those unfortunate people that can't have access to you or safe drinking water, won't be affected.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time, and see you soon.
Okay, appreciate you.
All right.
Bye bye.